Hello and welcome to the first DEI Innovation Summit. My name is Oona. My pronouns are she, hers. I'm SNAP's VP of DEI, that's Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, and I am thrilled to welcome you because we have an amazing lineup. Today, we're showcasing the ACT report, which stands for Action to Catalyze Tech, and it's the work of an expert group who met every 2 weeks for 1 year to answer the question, what would it take to transform DEI outcomes in the tech industry? Yeah, they're all really clever people, and it was still a very hard question to answer. I had the honor of chairing that working group, which is why I'm here and why we're holding this summit. Also, because we really want to open source the findings of those experts and the ACT report. And why do we want to open source? Is it just because we're really generous-minded people? No. I mean, yes, but no. It's because the one thing I've learned over the last 20 years is that DEI, honestly, is collective work. We win or lose together. And oh my goodness, we have been losing big time. I mean, we all know business too often fails at DEI. Of course it does. But business isn't alone. Society too often fails. Government too often fails. But don't worry, this isn't going to be a meditation on failure. It's going to be inspiration for success. And, you know, talking of success, there must be a business or a country somewhere that's got this right, you know, where everyone has got a great chance to succeed. But none of us can think of that example, so maybe it hasn't happened yet. Though, as someone did once say, if you want the American dream, move to Norway. Before you pack your bags, though, let's sign up to do something game-changing together, because no one person, no one leader can solve DEI. It'll take many, yet for a long time there were hardly any. The only people working overtime to solve DEI were underrepresented groups. You know who I'm talking about, the women, people of color, people with disabilities, the LGBTQ plus community, people brought up without money, and so many other underrepresented groups. Those were the people working overtime on DEI because they understand what it's like to try and break into the corporate world when you're not in the mainstream. You're born without networks. You don't have the bank of mum and dad. There are no private tutors. Your college isn't paid with the flick of a pen. You've never experienced the sheer privilege so many take for granted. It took the murder of a black man to wake up many majority groups to the lived experience, because here's the thing, that understanding a problem intellectually is not the same as living it. But when you glimpse what that life is like, when you walk not a mile but a minute, 8 minutes and 46 seconds in another person's shoes, and you see life crushed in front of you, that is when decent human beings decide to act. And that's what you decided. You decided to act because you saw clearly what inequity does. It crushes lives, it crushes dreams. So, how about this? Let's not do DEI in the corporate world on overtime anymore. Let's have leaders make it their core job during the middle of the day. Radical idea, I know. And the thing is, I know a lot of leaders, they're actually too scared to do that. They're not entirely sure what to do. They're too scared they'll say the wrong thing, too scared they'll be attacked for even trying. Well, we have 3 CEOs joining us at the panel today who've stepped up. They've decided unequivocally that part of their core role is to lead on DEI. And they're right, it is their job, but you know what? It's our job too. It's everyone's job. You don't need a title to be a leader, but you do need a plan. And that's why I'm really excited about the ACT report. It's what the ACT report seeks to provide for all of us, a path forward for collective action, a mechanism to hold ourselves accountable. Because although this report did honestly take over a year to write, the report itself isn't the point. Words aren't the point. Actions speak louder, and that's why it's called the ACT report. It proposes 10 actions all companies can take, and it calls for the creation of an industry entity to set diversity standards, measure progress, create accountability, and above all, actually drive innovation. We're sick of a tick box approach. So download the ACT report now. If your company hasn't already signed up, ask them to. If you don't work for a company, send it to people who do. And I do want to thank those companies who have stepped up, and they are the founding signatories of the ACT report. So you can go into that report, use the step-by-step guides, take it to your manager, take it to your leader, say we come in peace. But now it's time to act. And remember, our mission can only succeed if we're all going to step up together, right? So surprise yourself with the extraordinary attention you're about to give an online event, because yeah, we know what online events are for. They're so you can get all your other work done. I get that. But not today, people, because equity is a burning issue, urgent, for business, for people, for the world. And talking of the world and how we look after it and the land we're on, I want to acknowledge that today at Snaps HQ in LA, I'm standing on land that for generations has and continues to be looked after by the Chumash, Tongva, and Kish peoples. Why do I say their names as we dive into a session to change the corporate world? Because if 2020 taught us anything, if the murder of George Floyd taught us anything, it's that you can't understand current inequity if you don't understand and acknowledge history. Inequity doesn't just appear as if by magic. It's not just the way the system is, it's the way the system was built. It's layer upon layer of history, context, and advantage and disadvantage, deep systemic barriers all around. And if we collectively want to remove them, we all got to at least see them first. So yeah, it's a big task. A little bit daunting for a Wednesday, but we're excited about the tools we're going to share. We're super committed to being in this for the long term. We also come from a position of humility, and my God, we have to. Has anyone seen the tech industry's workforce diversity stats? We've also assembled some of the foremost thought leaders in the land, so help is at hand, and it's not all hard work. You can kick back and relax with two of the best fireside chats I've ever seen lined up at a corporate conference, one with Trevor Noah and one with Idris Elba. And you can also listen to the chief diversity officers we have from Google, PwC, Spotify, Workday, and Uber. We also have amazing lightning talks, as well as poetry and meditation. So hey people, what's not to like? Only inequity. But right now, we're going to start the way we mean to continue with the tech industry's most influential journalist, Kara Swisher, opinion writer for the New York Times. And she's going to ask our CEOs, just why are our DEI outcomes so bad? I mean, how is it tech can put a man on the moon, but we can't hire women into tech orgs, or not at the rates we should? So for answers to those and other illuminating questions, I'm going to hand it over to Kara to get this show on the road.